Hey guys, welcome back. It's Jaden at Mazda here at Riverside Mazda, and today we've got the 2023 MX-5 Miata in the very special club trim. We're gonna go over some of the styling and the features, so let's hop into it. So starting off in the front, styling wise, not too much has changed. We still have the same classic front design as we were gonna have when this car was introduced in 2016. That still looks very aggressive. You know, a far cry from the earlier generations of Miata, which look happy. You still get a nice smile, but nice angular headlights. But if we're looking at the hood, we can see our character lines just kind of flowing. I like how they curve right here, and of course one on the opposing side. And it all comes together pretty nice in this package here. Of course, in this trim, we are going to get our LED headlights here as well, with adaptive lighting, which is going to rotate the headlights up to 15 degrees depending on where you turn the steering wheel. And then we have LED daytime running lights right here. This is a little tier shape, and we actually have another pair of LED daytime running lights. So you kind of got two going on, kind of like a little cat with whiskers. But I think it looks pretty cool. You do have your gloss black front grille opening here, so not too crazy with the design. Very sleek and simple, but a lot of space to cool down that inline four. And in this club trim, we have this very sporty gloss black front lip spoiler, and you can see how that kind of wraps around and comes to the side here, which looks really cool. And since we're on the side, let's go ahead and check out the wheels here, which are a nice addition in this BBS package. So with these, of course, you're gonna get the BBS. These are actually finished in gunmetal gray. They look black, but they're like a really dark gray, like a graphite kind of color. But still, nonetheless, really cool. These are forged aluminum to save even more weight on this super lightweight roadster, paired with our 4-piston Brembo brakes and rotors here, which look really nice and really uniform. Okay, wheels and tires, you're looking at 205 on the width, 45 series sidewall, 17-inch wheel. And only thing I wish is maybe they would have put some, Pilot Sport 4S's on something, but the Bridgestone S001s, these are still pretty good summer tires. And then if we kind of take a peek in the back here, you can see some of the equipment right there. We do have the Bilstein shock towers on this club trim, which help the handling even more. Going on overall side silhouette here, we do have the soft top. You can't get this in the hard top, but with the top down, it's just iconic. It looks a lot better with the soft top variant. The silhouette just looks so cool. We've got our side markers right here with a little indentation here. We go ahead and check out the Snowflake white metallic paint, which has a really nice pearl on it. With the club pack, and once again, we're gonna get these gloss black door sills that go all the way back, paired with our gloss black mirror caps, and then our A-pillar that wraps around right there, which looks really cool. And if we can walk back, you can see another character line that's kind of soft, but it adds some nice dimension to this car. Not too overstyled, kept it pretty simple with this. Coming to the rear, gonna check out what else you get in this BBS Recaro package. You're once again gonna get some more aero. So you have, to match the front and the side, our rear aero that goes along the whole back, and you guessed it, yes, gloss black, and then a black gloss trunk lid spoiler here. So all together, I like the contrast of the white and black. You can have this in several different colors, and the back end is still, it's got a soft spot. So it looks kind of like a little mini Jaguar with the tail lights there, and it looks really cool. You can see right in the middle there, they're gonna have your backup camera. Only thing that we don't love is still, we got our shark fin antenna for Sirius XM, but we still have a regular antenna. Hopefully when they come out with that next generation, they do away with that, but nonetheless, you can buy a little piece on Amazon, screw it in there, and it looks much better. Right at the top, they are gonna have our third brake light, since in the RF it's kind of mounted on that part of the roof, but this one's moved up a little bit. But yeah, overall back view looks really cool. And of course, 2 aluminum exhaust outlets at the bottom, which sound pretty good. You guys take a listen. And since we're in the back, we can go ahead and check out the trunk, which you can release from the key fob right there. But there's also a tiny little release. You guys can see it right there. You press that button, you can pop up and open. And the first thing you're gonna check out is just how small this trunk is. First, you actually don't even get a trunk liner. Obviously, you're saving weight in every corner here. Not a huge deal. But yeah, I mean, it comes with your nice little tire change kit. You don't get a spare tire, you get a fix-a-flat here, and then a bunch of tools in the bag there. But size-wise, you can probably fit one carry-on here and not much else. If you golf, this maybe not be the car for you. Can't fit the golf bags in the trunk, but you can fit them in the passenger seat, so not a huge deal. Here we are underneath the hood of the MX-5 Miata, so let's go ahead and check out what we got going on. First and foremost, with this being the club trim, you can see we have the front shock tower bracing here, which looks really, really cool. In the back, of course, if we're talking powertrain, we are going to get the 6-speed manual in this specific trim, exclusive to the club. You can only get it in manual. And all the way in the back, rear-wheel drive, of course, you're going to get that limited slip differential there. So Torsen, that's really nice and really great to have. Under the hood, of course, Mazda knows their customer base when it comes to these cars. Everything is super easy accessible with the valve cover and everything like that. You can see all aluminum here. We do get a little bit of plastic on the intake runners, but nothing crazy. See, the coil packs are right there and very accessible. So this is a very tuner-friendly car. As far as, you know, changing things out and doing it yourself, or if you want to go the aftermarket route, throw some parts on there. This is a really fun, easy car to do it, right? This 2-liter itself, Mazda's cranked up since 2019 to push out 181 horsepower and 156 pound-feet of torque. So this thing is pretty zippy when you're around the town. You definitely get to where you got to be. Not beating any Hellcats on the street, but of course, once again, this isn't really a straight line car. This is for people who enjoy, you know, the curvy roads, you know, the occasional track day, and this car does really well. The only thing I'd say is the suspension from the factory is a little bit soft. So if you guys want to fix that right up, you guys can get some sway bars or anti-roll bars in the front and rear. If you're really feeling adventurous, you guys can throw on some coilovers. But nonetheless, this is all well-rounded package, the Skyactiv G engine paired to the 6-speed manual. It's probably one of the purest driving experiences you can get on the market for sure. And here we are checking out the interior of the MX-5 Miata. But starting off with the door, what I really like is how they brought the Snowflake white from the outside to the inside. You'll see a little bit that it flows right through the door there. But it's a nice touch and it wraps it all together really nice. Aluminum door handles here with nice leather with the gray stitching to accompany. And same thing, soft touch everywhere. But below there, what makes this car so light, they do use a lot of plastics here. You see a kind of a little weave style. It's not carbon fiber, but it looks pretty cool. Plastic on the door handles, and then when you go in the car, we're gonna get these really, really nice Recaro bucket seats here, which have some nice support in our thighs right here. This is gonna be black with a gray accent and a nice stitch and then piping that goes up and down the seat. These hold you guys in really, really well. Some nice bolstering near the thigh support and around the rib cage there. And of course, with this having the Bose sound system, Mazda's known to do it. We do get the speakers in the headrest here, which is great for audio. If you guys are on the phone call with a top down, that's pretty convenient as well. As far as design, we're gonna get leather on the trim and on the headrest there, but nice alcantara on the middle of the seat. And as far as adjustment, they aren't automatic, they are manual because once again, we're saving weight. You do get some under thigh supports. You can see you can turn that to the left and the right, and that raises up and down. You can of course slide the seat forward and backwards and then adjust the reclinement of the seat. Now, if you guys are on the taller side like me, 6 foot, you're gonna have to ride with the seat all the way back and you cannot recline it at all, but you can fit, right? But for your shorter people, you can definitely get some adjustment going and you can adjust the steering wheel to a telescopic in and out, up and down, and all that good stuff. Here we are in the driver's seat of the car with here, checking out some more features. Leather wrap steering wheel, of course. Once again, that gray accent stitch that we're gonna see on the door, following to the steering wheel and on the seats, which is really cool. And I like how everything is really in hand's reach. So for your volume control, picking up calls and everything like that, it's all in reach. Cruise control on the other side here, but not overdone with the button. It's just very simple. Of course, it's driver focus. We can tell by the display here. So right in the middle of the speedometer, of course, it's the tachometer. You got a physical needle in there. And this bad boy is gonna rev all the way up to 7,500 RPM, which is really cool. We see you get a tiny little digital display on the left and then your speedometer on the right side there. If we can look and see too some other features as far as design language, the air vents, it's shaped like the tail lights, which is a really cool subtle feature they threw in there with some gloss black trim. And you can see HVAC control is very simple here. You don't get dual zone climate control on this, which is a little bit of a bummer, but not a huge deal. Aluminum around the start stop, which so you're gonna get nice few touches there, not gonna be too bland with, you know, a bunch of plastic. Heated seats in the rear. You do have 2 USBs for charging your phone, and down there they have a 12 volt if you guys want to plug anything in. A nice little phone cubby. No wireless charging on the Miatas. And as far as the infotainment, this is actually using Mazda's last gen infotainment, which might be advantageous to some of you guys because, you still get wireless CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, but for you people who love to touch the screen, Mazda lets you do it in these older infotainments, just not while you're driving. It's got to be stationary. So really cool. These are just a little bit less responsive, but the layout is pretty simple and easy to use. Some more styling here with the dash complementing the door. Same thing, we're gonna get some nice leather and leatherette materials, and then that gray cross stitch that goes along the entirety of the door here. Star of the show, of course, being that nice short throw 6-speed automatic, which is just a joy to handle. Literally anybody can drive it. It's the easiest thing in the world. And you can see down here we have the cup holders, which are removable because you can have them right here. If you have somebody in the car in the passenger seat, you can pick it up and throw it in there, which is really nice. And if we can see right here, got some pretty small wind visors here, probably about the size of your hand, and a nice little card holder if you guys have a bunch of cards, and a little mirror up there. So it's better than nothing at all. But of course, we're here for the open air experience, which is really, really cool. And you know what, guys? I'm ready if you're ready. Let's get on the road and see how this Club Miata drives. All right, guys, here we are driving the 2023 MX-5 Miata, and we're gonna go over some of the great features about this car. So I mean, here we're not even going too fast, but even as a cruiser, this car's got some potential, right? But we all know the heart and soul of the Miata is going to be in the handling, right? How it's going to take those corners with efficiency. Horse and rider is one, Jleggette. We know Mazda love a driver's connection, and this is a driver's car. As you can tell with the interior, not too much going on because this is meant for you to be driving, right? And of course, they have all these new technologies. They have G vector control, but introduced last year in the 22 model year, I believe it was that Kinematic Posture Control, right? And that's going to be that automatic inside braking of the rear outside wheel, which is pretty cool. And what that's going to allow you to do is when you're doing that, it's going to reduce some body roll, which is a pretty interesting thing to feel. And it's about, I'd say about 40 to 50% less body roll compared to some outgoing years, which is pretty nice. So this car was already well rounded, but they just made it a little bit sharper here. So they're really paying attention to what the consumer wants, keeping this specific trim, manual only. They definitely know what they were doing when it came to this one. So outside of an amazing drive with the Miata, what else are you really gonna get? So surprisingly, in these cars, you get some pretty good gas. I mean, they say for the manual, you're gonna get about 29 miles per gallon. But in real world, I'm seeing most people, they say they get around 37, 38, which is really nice because this is a small 13-gallon tank. So you fill up and you last a pretty good long time. But every time we get on a curved road, it's handling with such precision. The steering is so accurate. You can definitely feel how light this thing is. It just wants to be tossed around, and you can drive it with such confidence. It really wants to push the max out of the vehicle. You can push it as hard as you want, and it's never gonna fail on you. It's gonna deliver every time. As the name suggests, M-I-A-T-A, Miata is always the answer, right? So you'll see as we go through some curvy roads here, very little body roll. The car is very precise, even with one hand here. I don't really feel like I'm out of control at any point. And even for beginners, because this car is beginner friendly, you can get on it really easy. You can see downshifts there, really nice and smooth. You can see upshifts are nice and beautiful as well. So very easy transmission to learn on if you guys are just starting out. If you guys just want to get some experience in, definitely what I would recommend for a lot of first time, or if you guys are experienced as well, all ages, you'll definitely enjoy this. The ride is so cohesive and responsive. Definitely get a chance to get out, drive one if you guys can. All right, guys, so here we are on the cabin of the MX-5 Miata. Of course, we got a long straight and we got to do a 0 to 60. So we're gonna put it in first. We're gonna see this thing go in 3, 2, 1, and we're off the line pretty quick. And this thing just rolls, and just like that, we're at 60. Within the end of the third gear, you don't really need to hit third gear, but just for safety, you take that thing all the way out to third, and it is on it quick, guys. So yeah, I mean, it's really, really responsive, and you can feel the torque kick in almost immediately because these Skyactiv G engines were built to be very torque efficient. But here we are at 40. We're gonna test the emergency braking. How's it gonna come to a stop in 3, 2, 1. And these Brembo brakes do it great. One thing you will notice though, even at cruising speeds, let's say, 40, 50 miles an hour and under, if we're just driving here, it's not actually that noisy in the cabin down, and we do have the windows down. It's pretty well rounded with the aerodynamics, so the air passes over the car pretty smoothly here. But no, yeah, you can hear just fine. Don't really have to raise your voice too much to talk. Obviously, if you're on the highway, it's a different story. But that's going to be one of the differences when you're in an RF, right? RF, you're going to have that retractable fastback, and with that, it's going to provide that extra insulation, but at the trade-off of 100 pounds. This soft top's going to be 100 pounds lighter, so it's going to be a bit more nimble, and definitely a lot of a platform. It's really preference, right? RF's got a better coupe look with the top up, top down, open air feeling. Can't beat it. All right, guys, and that was the 2023 MX-5 Miata in the club trim. Let me know what you guys think. Would this be one that you guys would purchase over something like a GR86 in the class? Or I think the next size up, you'd be looking at a BMW Z4. And these are going to come in at about 36, 37,000 for the soft top with this BBS Recaro package. 39, I believe 40 if you're coming in with the hard top. And it's going to be a really nice platform overall. MSRP base for a Sport, I believe, is about 28 grand, and these get up there. So let me know, what are your guys' thoughts? What do you guys want to see next? Until the next time.